Hello, Aries. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripe Color, and this is me without glare on my glasses. This is your reading for your two-card reading for the week of October 18th, 2020. And I hope you've had a good week. You have a lovely week this week coming. Please like, subscribe, share, click the button for notifications, click the bell. Push the bell, press the bell. Yeah. I also do one-on-ones if you're interested, and all the information is below. One more shuffle and away we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Okay. It's a nice reading. You have 2 queens and the 6 of coin, 6 of pentacles. Okay, so you have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. 2 very interesting characters. And then you have the 6 of Pentacles. The Queen of Swords does not mince her words, to say the least. The Queen of Swords does not mince her words. The Queen of Swords is probably, in a way, in her negative way, she's like the harshest of the queens. But in her positive way, she's the most truthful. She'll tell you exactly the way it is. You know how sometimes, you go ask. There are certain people who have a certain type of mother. My mother was kind of like that. Where she told you exactly the way it was. There was no pretense. There was no she told you exactly the way it was. The truth and nothing but the truth, right? The Queen of Swords, interestingly, leaves the past behind. Because one of the traditional meanings of the Queen of Swords is she's alone, right? She's alone. I never feel like she's married to the king. She's considered sometimes the woman of loss, right? She's either a divorcee or a widow, and it's her past that kind of informs her and allows her to be as honest as she needs to be. You know, when people get older and they have no reason to impress you, to or to make it. They don't really care if you like them or not. They're just going to tell you the truth the way it is. She's a little bit like that. She's a lot like that. Then you have the Queen of Wands, who's like the feisty one. She's like, well, to me, she's the life of the party. She is feisty. She's a redhead, in theory, she's creative, she's the type that wears a hat that is like the oddest shape, and she doesn't care. She made it herself, and it's the most fantastic thing. Is it a chandelier? Is it a cornucopia? She's like Carmen Miranda. She's fun and feisty and fiery and creative, and she's kind of talkative, and so the combination of these two, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, queens also are about great patience. Queens are about patience. They'll sit and they'll wait and they'll watch. And they're observers in a certain way in order to gain more information and more knowledge. That's the way I see them. Then you have the 6. The 6 is a lovely card. The 6 is really about giving and receiving. It's pretty obvious. It's about charity, right? It's about being, it's very community minded. It's very community minded, right? And, you know, they're just as much a part of the community as he is, you know, because without them, he doesn't have anyone to give to. So remember that. So, you know, one of my takes on this reading is there might have been a situation in your past where either you were hurt or you kind of like feel sort of done with someone. And this might be the time to step out of your own way and let bygones be bygones and reach out. That could be one, right? With her in the middle as the creative one, as, you know, make it into a joke, you know, make it warm, right? Because she's a little bit cold and she's a little bit warm. They're almost both a little bit too much of each. I have to say, she's pretty level-headed herself. This one's pretty level-headed. The Queen of Cups, she's not really very level-headed. She's lovely, but she's not exactly a clear thinker, generally. It could also very easily be you're used to being the one who gives, and through a variety of circumstances, now you're the one who receives. As well as, it could also be vice versa. You could generally be the one who receives, and now it's time for you to give, right? Giving doesn't necessarily mean money. Giving could be a lot of things. Giving could be holding space. You know, sometimes I feel like the most important thing that we do for one another is to hold space for the people around us to be themselves, to express themselves, to feel safe so that they can let their hair down, unload their burden, cry, be angry, laugh, whatever, you know, because so many times we all put ourselves in these boxes of I'm the strong one, or I'm the weak one, or I'm the funny one, or I'm the rich one, or I'm the beautiful one, or whatever the one, whatever box you're in, or have been in, or put yourself in, or have felt yourself put in by others. Maybe it's time to break out of the box, leave the past behind, get creative, right? Leave the past behind, get creative, and allow yourself, if you're used to receiving all the time, maybe it's time for you to give. And if it's time for you, and if you're used to giving all the time, maybe it's time for you to receive. I also, you know, I say this overall, not at every reading, but I really, for the past, since I've really been reading on YouTube, I'm really feeling like for all of us, for all of us, no matter your sign or your sex or whatever else, you know, differentiates us from one another. We all need to be adaptable and flexible and open ourselves up to new ways of thinking and of doing things and of seeing ourselves and of seeing the world, because our adaptability is the thing that's going to move us forward. This is why, you know, even though we're living through all this turmoil and trauma, and it's difficult and it's frightening. As a community, we're going to make it through because we're humans and we're adaptable. That's who we are. That's what we're good at. You know, we're good at morphing, at changing. And, you know, it's a very challenging time. And I think the message of this reading is to really leave the past behind, because we started the Queen of Swords, and to get creative, you know, move into the Queen of Wands, and to allow ourselves to be part of a new community, and to maybe allow ourselves and allow others to take on different roles than what we're used to or what we're comfortable with or what we're mired in. Let's put it that way. So it's a very interesting reading. Very interesting. And, you know, you're Aries. So, you know, you're cardinal and you're very good at setting the stage. You know, you are the stage setter. It's really interesting too, the glyph. Of course, I'm not getting up, but the glyph, I don't have a pen. The glyph for Aries is fascinating. The glyphs are really quite deep. So the glyph for Aries is, it goes like this, right? It's the ram's horns, and then they come to this point, and it's almost like this, the energies of the universe, of creation, come together in their duality, in their masculine, feminine aspects, the dark, light, la, 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 come together. And, you know, Aries is the explosion. Aries is the explosion. You know, and without the explode, like if you don't explode the mountain, you can't get the gold. You know, I'm not, I don't think we need any more gold, and, you know, I don't think we should be blowing up mountains. But you understand what I'm saying. Very interesting reading. Very interesting. And it's time to leave the past behind. You know, I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. Sometimes life isn't easy. How wise. It's like, just look at your life and say, this isn't easy. Okay. We're going to go through it. We always do. All right. Blessings. If you want a one-on-one, it's below. Like, subscribe, share, press the button for notifications, blah, blah, blah. Have a good week. And thanks for tuning in.